Hello and welcome, I am Vessel Silica Mini and these are our thoughts on Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer, progression system, loot boxes, star codes and what South Africans need to know about the game. So unless you've been living in a galaxy far, far away, you would probably know about the microtransactions and pay-to-win controversy surrounding Star Wars Battlefront 2. EA DICE temporarily removed microtransactions from the game, and they also decreased time required to unlock heroes by upping the rate at which you gain credits. So I'm talking about how the game is right now and what players will be able to experience. After completing the 6-hour single-player campaign and receiving roughly 5,000 credits, I jumped into the arcade mode and then into the multiplayer action. With arcade mode, you can earn a measly amount of credits at a time, as some activities only give you 70, which isn't much at all. Arcade is an offline mode, but still allowed me to earn some credits to unlock things in multiplayer. It is understandable that such a mode would have a credit limit so people can't just farm it the whole time, as arcade is much easier than playing against actual players. My only issue with this mode is that you still have to be online to earn these credits, even if it's a supposed offline mode. Now onto multiplayer, and first things first. Our viewers probably want to know how the experience is for South Africans. Well, it is actually quite good, as the game does have local servers, and during local matches I felt absolutely no delay, had no spikes or saw any rubber banding of any sort. It felt so smooth that what I'm about to tell you next makes me a little bit depressed. The game has 6 modes to play, but I could almost only find matches for Galactic Assault, the 40-player conquest type game mode. I searched for hours on end for a match for any other game mode for several days until I finally found one Heroes vs Villains local match on my PS4. Coupled with the game's long loading times, the only way to really get a lot of gameplay time in at the moment and get those credits quickly is through Galactic Assault on South African servers. That's when I felt forced onto international servers to play games of Starfighter Assault, where I could fly around in various awesome Star Wars spaceships and shoot down enemies, fight as iconic characters in Heroes vs Villains, or just let go and blast. The blast mode is, well, an absolute blast to play, with 20 players just fighting each other without any objectives in the mix. I loved playing this game mode, especially when I first started, as it can quickly improve your aim and help you learn the abilities of each of your 4 classes, as well as some bonus classes like the Rocket Jumper or the Wookiee Warrior that you can unlock with battle points during a match. The multiplayer does have everything you would expect, from grand battles across various locations in the Star Wars universe to great gunplay, awesome graphics and fantastic sound. Not once did my gameplay get hindered by lag and everything ran smoothly on local servers, while on international servers I did have some issues with lag, rubber banding of enemies and allies alike. Even so, across over 30 hours of play, most of the minute-to-minute gameplay felt incredible. But what about the progression system, you may ask? Well, we've got you covered, as from now until the end of the video I will discuss the progression system as it is right now in the game. From playing my first 40 minutes, I already received over 2,000 credits in-game and another 2,000 from milestone rewards. Since a hero like Darth Vader costs 15,000 credits, it definitely doesn't take too long to get started and unlock things. I unlocked for the father and son duo Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader before anything else, only spending my credits on those 2 characters. It took me roughly 8 hours of multiplayer to do so. Unfortunately, the grind only really starts when you've unlocked some heroes. You see, there are these things called loot boxes and star cards contained within. I was able to get enough credits for one of the higher value loot boxes in about 2 hours of play, which rewarded me 2 random cards. These cards increase a ton of things, from giving you access to new class abilities for regular troopers to passive buffs like earning more battle points. The same goes for heroes, as everything you play with has these star cards you can equip to increase its power. Unfortunately, it comes down to luck at this point, as you can get star cards from classes you don't even play or heroes you haven't unlocked yet. So you have luck-based rewards after grinding for them, and then There is also another roadblock. To unlock new weapons for your preferred class, you need to get a certain number of kills with that class. The first weapon to unlock isn't that bad, as you only need 50 kills, but then things get a little bit crazy later on, like 500 kills needed to unlock a weapon. Then you also need to unlock accessories for these weapons. Playing as an assault trooper, my second weapon took about 4 hours to unlock fully with all its accessories in place, which makes a huge difference in gameplay. Lastly, from a progression standpoint, you can also craft star cards with crafting parts. That's a way for you to not rely on the luck of loot boxes, but the rate at which you earn crafting parts is abysmal. I could, after 10 hours, only craft 5 cards, and that was because I reached certain once-off milestones which awarded me with some crafting parts. That wasn't nearly enough to get close to maxing out one class, as these star cards also come in 5 different rarities, with the high end of the spectrum increasing ability and passive skills in a big way. In multiplayer, these star cards can make all the difference in combat situations, and that simply isn't fair. In the end, the multiplayer is great to play on a match-to-match basis, but I couldn't help but feel as if something was wrong. It almost feels as if the game's microtransaction system was designed first, and then the multiplayer experience and progression system around that. We know that microtransactions will return at some point, but we simply don't know when or in what form they will return. This makes me a little bit worried about the game's future, and even with the microtransactions currently disabled, I find Star Wars Battlefront too difficult to recommend based on its multiplayer experience as a whole, especially for South African players who will probably only be able to play Galactic Assault. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and check out some more gameplay until the end of this video. This review was based off a copy sent to us by Prima Interactive.
Throwing grenade! You know my price.
First order operative landing. Must be someone special. First order troops claiming the area.
I'll show you the dark side.
Head down. Enemy presence at the gate. Do not disappoint me. Time is short. We must reclaim the gate. The gate is breached. Withdraw and ready a defense. Stay down! The fleet battle goes poorly. The invaders have sabotaged us. but they must not free their people from the detention block. They'll try to override the cell doors and the inner gate. We will not allow it.